What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy John 25. Tonight I'm going to do my WWE Smackdown review and highlights. You guys new, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. Now, Smackdown was a decent show. It was just decent. Alright, tonight's episode of Smackdown will continue the build towards Survivor Series and such. And as such, Seth Rollins faced Otis in a qualifying match, while Rey Mysterio tackles King Corbin for a spot on Team Smackdown. So far, our team consists of Jay Uso and Kevin Owens, and we don't yet know the captain. All right, the only other match scheduled for tonight so far is a huge SmackDown Women's Champion rematch between Bayley and Sasha. This match could serve as the blow off to the feud, with the winner moving on to face Asuka at Survivor Series. Alright, and that's all we know about tonight's SmackDown. We can assume here will be drama with Aaliyah, Mysterio, and Murphy, as well as the tribal chief Roman Reigns. We have live coverage here from 8 p.m. Enjoy the show. Alright, so we get SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks versus Bayley. This was a great match, but this match itself should have been main evented at Hell in a Cell. But I'm glad I said it though. But anyway, this match was great. It says this huge match gets underway and they lock up, with Bayley forcing her in the corner. They break apart and Bayley shoves her. So Sasha punches her and tackles Bayley down. Sasha takes her down again, but Bayley rolls out to get away. Back live, and Sasha Banks slide under the bottom rope and yanks Bayley's foot, so she hits the apron. Sasha Banks gets Bayley back inside for a double knees in the corner and a 2 count. Bayley rolls to the apron and Sasha looks to hit double knees against the post, but Bayley kicks her up into the air and Banks lands hard. That was a brutal spot right there. But anyway, Bayley gets her back inside for 2. Bayley chokes Sasha on the middle rope before taking a sleeper hold. Banks rallies and slams Bayley into the turnbuckles with both knees. Then hits double knees again. Bayley catches Sasha with a clothesline for a 2 count. Banks hits a meteor off the middle rope and then crossbody off the apron to Bayley on the floor. We return to find them brawling on the middle rope, but Sasha slides down to try and powerbomb Bayley on the floor, but she countered with a hurricanrana into announce table. Back inside the ring, Banks slams Bayley into the turnbuckles and hits a double knees again, with Bayley hanging on the apron. Sasha runs off the steps for an elbow drop. Banks hits a 5-star fall splash off the top for a near fall. They trade finishers attempts and Banks almost gets the bank statement on, but Bayley knocks her from the ring and into the barricade. Bayley grabs a kendo stick and distracts the referee before grabbing a chair, but Sasha tosses it into the crowd. Bayley hits Sasha with the bank statement and then the Bayley to belly for a near fall. So Bayley goes up top and hits an elbow drop for another near fall. Bayley hits running knee and back suplex for a 2 count. Bayley applies the bank statement in submission, but Sasha counters with a roll up for a 2 count. They roll up to the apron and Banks avoids an incoming Bayley, so she hits the ring post. Sasha Banks gets her inside the ring and applies the bank statement for the win. The winner of the match, and you're still WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Alright, as Sasha is making her way up the ramp, she turns around into a super kick from Carmella. The returning Carmella lifts Sasha and hits a face buster on the stage. Carmella laughs and poses before leaving. That match itself was fantastic. I gotta give credit where credit's due. Alright, Kevin Owens is backstage with Jay Uso is catering, and he makes a little joke that Jay doesn't take well. Jay asks if he's making fun of, and Owens says no. they partners at Survivor Series, and he wants to make sure they on the same page. He tells Jay to switch to decaf. All right, so let's move on. Yeah, here we go. So we got a video package. We got a video package. We see a video package of Roman Reigns and Jay Uso from last week. Braxton interviews Jay Uso backstage. Jay says Daniel Bryan isn't blood family, is forever. Kayla says that only applies if Jay intends to. Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman appears and says Roman doesn't authorize this interview. Kayla says it seems Heyman has a higher position in the family than Roman. Jay says she's throwing shades and Heyman tells him not to keep Roman waiting. Rey Mysterio is on the phone backstage when Dominic appears and says he needs to get ready for his match. Rey says he knows, but he's trying to get in touch with Aaliyah. Dominic leaves and King Corbin attacks Rey. Their match is after the break. Alright. It says Jay Uso and Paul Heyman are standing outside Roman's locker room. Heyman tells him that Roman isn't in a good mood, and Jay says he should talk to him, but Paul says to wait until he's ready. Heyman goes in and brings Roman out. Reigns asks why Jay is talking to Owens or Kayla. He says there's a chain of command. He needs to talk to him, and if he can't find him, he needs to talk to Paul Heyman. Needs to talk to Paul Heyman. Reigns says Owens was disrespecting him earlier, and anyone disrespect Jay is disrespecting Roman and his whole family. He asks if Jay will let someone like that run their mouths about their family, and he says no. He shortened it out. Roman then brace Heyman for letting this happen, and Paul is scared. Roman tells him to go find Adam Pearce and so they can short this out. Alright, so we got King Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. This match was decent. This was a decent match. It says the winner of the match, Baron Corbin. Alright, Corbin advanced to Team Smackdown alongside Kevin Owens and Jay Uso for Survivor Series. So we get Natalya versus Selena Vega versus Ruby Riot. This short third match itself was terrible. It was just terrible. But I'm glad Ruby Riot won. It says the winner of the match, Ruby Riot. Big E is backstage beating a stagehand in a board game. The Street Profits appear and try to butter Big E up, and so he dishes some advice on his teammates for Survivor Series. Tell them to lie down so Woods and Kobe don't beat on them too bad. Then all three of them laugh like crazy. Billie Kay appears and tries to jump in on the laughing. She hands them a CV and asks if they need some dirt on Raw. She has it. That was a terrible segment by Billie Kay. But anyway, Otis versus Seth Rollins. This was decent match. It says it says we see the Mysterio family watching backstage as the match gets on the way. Seth attacks Otis and beats him down with the axe handle on to the back. Otis blocks a Irish whip and fires Seth into the buckles. Then lifts and slams him. Seth rolls out to regroup, but Murphy comes onto the stage and Seth gets back into the ring. Otis drops Rollins with a punch and then slams him into the buckles. Rollins runs at Otis but gets thrown over the ropes and lands in front of Murphy. The distraction allows Otis to hit running tackle at ringside. But back in the ring, Seth attacks Otis, but the big man gets fired up and shakes it off and headbutts him. Otis hits a flapjack and then tosses Seth into the buckles and hits a spinning body slam. Otis runs at Seth but eats a boot. Then Rollins dives at him but gets caught and slams Otis and slams Otis hits a splash in the corner and looks to hit the caterpillar, but Murphy gets on the apron and distracts him, allowing Seth to kick him and hit the stomp for the win. The winner of the match, Seth Rollins. All right, and we see then Ray and Dominic look angry backstage, and Aaliyah is confused as it seems. Murphy just helped Seth qualify for Survivor Series. All right, so we get a backstage interview with earlier today. Michael Cole sat down to talk with the Freak, Lars Sullivan, who isn't wearing a shirt. Lars says he hates bullies. He's been bullied his entire life for his appearance and how he talks, and those bullies used to push him around, steal his lunch. But he learned to take care of himself, gaining 50 limbs of muscle, and the bully stopped. Well, it didn't, because he became the bully, and that was fun. He learned he could bully whoever he wanted and make them do whatever he wanted. He loves to bully. Alright, so we get Jay Uso versus Kevin Owens. This was a pretty good match. This was a pretty good match. It says, after the match, it says Jay Uso versus Kevin Owens. This match was good. It says the bell rings and they lock up. Jay shoots him off, but Owens drops him with a shoulder. Roman is showing watching with Paul Heyman. Jay starts firing back and knocks Owens from the ring. Jay looks to hit a suicide dive, but Owens catches him and slams him into the barricade. Owens goes to the apron and hits a frog splash as we head to the break. Owens drops Jay and heads to the top rope, but out comes Paul Heyman and Owens gets distracted. Jay Uso knocks Kevin Owens off the top rope to the floor and follows up with a suicide dive. Jay gets Owens back inside and drops him with a super kick. Jay shouts at Kevin Owens and unloads right hands on him before applying the chin lock. Kevin Owens fights up and blocks a kick to hit a super kick. Kevin Owens scrambles to the corner and Jay attempts a splash, but Kevin Owens moves and hits another super kick. Owens goes up top and lands a frog splash for a near fall. Kevin Owens avoids a pop-up powerbomb and hits a kick of his own, followed by a back suplex / neck breaker for a near fall. Jay goes up top and jumps over Owens, but gets caught with a pop-up powerbomb. Owens goes for the pin, but Jay gets his foot on the bottom rope. Kevin Owens lifts Jay Uso and looks for a powerbomb. But Roman Reigns' music hits and Owens is distracted, allowing Jay Uso to hit a brilliant low blow. Jay drops Kevin Owens and goes up top for the Uso splash for the win. The winner of the match, Jay Uso. This match itself was pretty good. I like the outcome of it. After the match, Roman Reigns does come out and certain to meet Jay Uso on the stage. Roman puts his hand on Jay's shoulder and smiles as he stares at Kevin Owens and poses with the title. I like that part. And SmackDown goes off the air. But other than that, SmackDown was a decent show. It was just decent for what it was. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my WWE SmackDown review and highlights, please give this video 10 likes, subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok down below in the description. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay safe. And I'm out of here.